Dine, dine, hang on, dine, yo, dine, yo. Oh, what a dine, dine. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and I thank you so much for being with me all this while. This is a segment known as the Black Pot, aka Kuku Shonamo, and this is where we speak truth to power. This is where we talk pertinent issues related to the development of our people, our continent, our land. Remember, we talk pertinence and not pettiness. No petty issues, we talk pertinent issues. We don't like to criticize. We want everything to go smooth and good. But if we must criticize, we will criticize. And remember that we only criticize to build, not to destroy. My name is Blakk Rasta. Today, I want to look at two very important things. Hallelujah. Listen, man. The first one is the Kennedy Ajapong issue. And this is captured right here on my Joy Online, published earlier today at 11:40 a.m. Yes, today the 14th day of October 2020, Wednesday. And I read, it says, Supreme Court orders Kennedy Ajapong's contempt case to be transferred to different judge. And it reads, the Supreme Court has, in a unanimous decision, ordered that the contempt case against Kennedy Ajapong be transferred to a different judge. Now, according to the court, Justice Amos Wuntawuni is prohibited from hearing the matter any further. This was after lawyers for the MP had accused the judge of demonstrating hostility towards them. Now, the MP on September 18 filed for a review application at the Supreme Court to stop contempt proceedings against him and also quash the order of summons for him to appear before the court, as the High Court had no jurisdiction to do so. This follows a summon by the judge after the Asin Central MP allegedly went on live TV to use unprintable words on the High Court judge. Although Justice Winnie had argued that nothing barred him from proceeding with the case, he adjourned proceedings to September 25 to hear further legal arguments from Mr. Ajapong's team. But the Supreme Court, in its ruling Wednesday, October 14, 2020, insists Justice Winnie is prohibited from hearing the case. The case was heard by Justices Bafo Boni, Yao Apao, Gabriel Puamang, Amadou Tanko, and Yoni Kulendi. My God have mercy. My brother, my sister, I leave it there. Now, we all saw the video that went viral. Kennedy Ajapong on his TV show called Net 2 went on a rant spree, accusing judges and using unprintable words, my brother, my sister, as the story said, on a judge, and threatened to deal with this judge because as for him, you don't touch him and go free, he said. Now, we all saw that tape. And then subsequently we saw Mr. Ajapong come out and apologize in one way or the other. And remember that I was on this show to say that the apology was a little too cold for my liking. Much as I did not want to see Mr. Ajapong behind bars, for a reason that he is a man who speaks his mind, and in some of the cases, he's been able to hit the jackpot with some of his accusations, like in the case of Wyoming. So a man like this would err, but at the end of it all, it is only the serviceable child that breaks the pot. And you remember, former Minister of State, oh my God, at the tourism ministry, my God have mercy, called into the program, and then he begged to differ. He said Mr. Ajapong was only a loud-mouthed, empty-headed braggart. You all heard it on the show. But right after that, my brother, my sister, I still held on to my gun and said, yes, he might be all that you have said, but I still believe that a man like this, in fact, should be looked at again. People might clap to see him in jail. And right after that, my brother, my sister, you will start to miss a man like that. How many people have the energy to talk like this? I'm not encouraging that kind of rant. That's not what I'm encouraging. All I'm saying that when you see people who seem to have the passion to fight wrong, be careful how you treat such people. You might end up jailing them and even killing them. And at the end of the day, you will all start crying and be looking for the same person again to fight the same battles. Some might not agree, some might agree. But today, remember I went on to say that depending on the way this government handles this issue, they could lose the election. Like Mahama lost the last election because partly of Muntie. You remember the Muntie boys? How the issue was handled and how they came out and how people got so angry and how even pundits warned Mahama to stay off the issue. But he couldn't do it. He felt that they were fighting for his party and they went wrong. And he used his Karachi powers to get them out of jail after 1 month behind bars or so. Mahama went ahead to lose the elections. Today, my brother, my sister, Justice Wuntawuni will not have the opportunity to listen to Kneejerk's case anymore. And where do I stand? I side 100% with the Supreme Court. You know why? Listen, don't be so much in a hurry for judgment. Listen. Now in law, when you are dealing with the law, there's something that we call a person of interest. You understand? I'll give you an example. Now, when a man slaps you and you are asked to slap the man back, you felt the pain. With the pain that you had, you could end up slapping him and decapitating him. I'll take you into the classroom. By the laws of this country, if a pupil or a student misbehaves towards a particular teacher in a class, my brother, my sister, teachers are not supposed to cane them immediately or punish them immediately. You know why? Because of the anger that is built in them. They experience that thing firsthand. So they are people of interest. You know what they do? They are supposed to go to the headmaster's office, fill out a form talking about how, detailing what the student or the people did and what kind of punishment the teacher thinks this student or people should have. Right after that, it should be handed over to the headmaster to look at it and be able to judge the gravity of this punishment as compared to that of the student's behavior. Do they tally? So you see, there's a second person who is not of interest or who is not a person of interest who is supposed to help calm down this person and say, yes, I'm not in your shoes, but I do understand what you're going through. Instead of giving this student 10 lashes, please give him just 5 or maybe just 4. And he'll give you reasons. That's one. Number 2, walking away from the student who misbehaved all the way to the headmaster's office is supposed to give you enough time and let some air pass and blow over all these tantrums that are building inside you. By the time you return from filling the form and everything, your heart might calm down. You see, the GES is trying to fight knee-jerk reactions, what we call knee-jerk reactions, involuntary reactions, for want of a better word. My brother, my sister, when a man slaps you right now, you are so incensed, say slap him back. You might give him a certain so-called dirty slap that will take off his head. But if you let time pass over it, you might reflect over it and might say that, Charlie, it's not worth it. Or even if you slap back, you will slap back with a certain kind of, forgiveness. Now, Justice Wuntawuni is a person of interest. He was the one who directly took the insults from Kennedy Ajapong. From the video we saw. So if he's going to sit on the case, my brother, there's minimum punishment and there is maximum punishment, and they are both legal. 5 slaps may be okay. 200 slaps would be the ceiling. This judge could go all the way to 200 slaps, and it's legal. It is so disgraceful what Kennedy Ajapong said. It is very, very disheartening to hear a lawmaker help demean his own laws that he made. But that notwithstanding, it is only the serviceable child who breaks the pot. Some people may be angry out there, oh, he talks too much. This is a stupid man, a foolish man. This young jelly no crana enya free. Ghana for mupesa. Mupesa dodo. Enche bi amwa na mubesun. Oh, anka Kennedy Ajapong wa. Anka semwe anka waka. Anka wedia waka. Papa wedia anka waka. Ma esa kunu so oko. The same Ghanaians who called for the crucifixion of Kwame Nkrumah today are crying that they want to see Nkrumah's ghost again. Same people who called for the freeing of Barabbas and for Jesus Christ to be gold crucified. Same people today are worshiping him and saying that, oh, they made a mistake. Let's be careful. In fact, much as I want Kennedy Ajapong to have a certain kind of punishment, I would want him to face the law accurately and fairly. Let's look at Muntie. The Muntie boys, when they said those terrible things against the judge, those judges were not allowed to sit on the case. Because if they had sat on that case, they would have killed a mosquito with a sledgehammer. And this is what we want to avoid. A small tap can kill the mosquito. Why come with a bazooka? Why come with a sledgehammer? I know many people will not agree with this, but please, let some air blow over it, and we will see that. It's the same thing I said when I was at the Parliament House. Almost all the MPs who were there, they were insulting, threatening. I came to pass in front of one MP. Foolish man, you will see. Today we will show you where power lies. Foolish man, mukasa nimnyansa. I had all these things and I said, well, your power ends right here. Let me give you the opportunity. This is home support. Take all your home support. When you meet me outside, tell me the same thing. I'll let Kuchoko soldiers deal with you right now. My brother, my sister, hear me now. Look, after all the noise that they made, and I decided to walk off radio for some time. Listen, I met one of the MPs on the flight from the UK to Ghana. You know what he told me? I don't want to mention his name. And I met another high-profile man. You know who it was? Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Mr. Totobi Kwachi. On the flight from the UK to Ghana, he was in the business class and I was in the 5th class. And when Mr. Totobi Kwachi saw me, in fact, I went to greet him. He said, oh, Blakk Rasta, how are you doing? I said, oh, I'm doing fine. And I asked, how's Manifest? He said, oh, good. He said, you know, we missed you on radio. When are you returning? I said, as soon as it's possible, sir. And then, fine gentleman spoke to me nicely and walked away. My brother, my sister, the same people who at that time were so angry to see the end of Blakk Rasta, today were telling me that they had missed me. A lot, I'm not saying that Totobi Kwachi. That's if I got the name right. I have to look at it. I don't think I'll get that name right. Don't worry, man. I'll get it 9. That's Manifest's father. You know? I don't follow too much politicians. You understand? So when some of these names skip, don't worry about that. I deal with issues. I don't deal with personalities. But sometimes you would have to mention 1 or 2 personalities just to buttress the point that you're making. I think that the Supreme Court took a very good decision. And I think that those who are angry should please let some small air blow over it and let Ghana be a good country. I'm so much against anybody looking down on the laws of this country. Anybody playing superior, King Kong, untouchable. That is why the laws are there to check some of these things. But if a man plays King Kong, and then a few hours later he comes back to say, oh, I'm sorry for playing King Kong. Now like a mouse, it's enough punishment. I like Ajapong, but it's not everything he says that I agree with. Same way, it's not everything I say that you agree with. I think I can just leave it here and then go on. My brother, my sister, yes, Mr. Chatu Chikata, that's his name. Mr. Chatu Chikata was the man that I met, not to Toby Kwachi. I knew I was wrong. Fine gentleman. And I believe he will still remember it. It was a British Airways flight. Double deck. They have a name they call Metro, whatever it is. You remember I told you about this flight some time back? We leave it here. Now, another thing I would like to look at, Ibramal, thank you so much for reminding me of the name. Yes, thank you, Ibramal. I appreciate that. Many more people. Anyway, in the African history class are already telling me, oh, she's Chatu Chikata. Thank you. Appreciate that. Now, the next thing I want to look at very quickly, in less than 5 minutes, one MP was shot. Mfansipim MP. We lost a man. I previously never knew him. Like I told you, I don't follow personalities. I follow issues. Now there is an issue and I'm following the issue. So when we hear Blakk Rasta talk about somebody, then it is because an issue has come out and I am supposed to look at the personality who is related to that issue. Can somebody connect with this? I don't deal with personalities. I deal with issues. You understand? That is why we say we don't like to criticize. But if we must criticize, we will criticize. And remember, we only criticize to build, not to exercise. Kai, Dodo. Dodo. Listen. Mfansipim MP passed on, sadly, from the bullet of a gunman. A gunman, he himself decided to introduce his good self to. We were told that the armed robbers were on the highway. In America, we call them highway robbers. But you cannot call them highway robbers here when we have no highways. All our highways are full of potholes, which could best be described as manholes. Thanks to God, the previous government of Nanado and Mahama combined, and a few other of our heads of states and leaders have tried in the past to be able to deal with these things. But most of them have always employed shoddy workers who will build a road that will be erased within weeks of rainfall. It's not about building a road. It's about building a quality road that would withstand the test of time. I was at the British Parliament the other day by the kind courtesy of John Benjamin. And he was telling me how old some of the buildings were. Some of them date as far back as 500 years. And the building has only been painted. No major mason works. But our roads, the longest they can stay, apart from our motorway, built by Kwame Nkrumah with all the energy and passion. A lot of these roads, let it rain continuously for 2 days. They wipe off and melt off as if the rain was acidic, acid rain, sulfuric acid. Anyway, I digressed a bit. Mfansimane MP was shot and killed by an armed robber. And this armed robber, we were told him right in the face that you dare even come to me and tell me that you are an MP. It's because of people like you that we are suffering. All the corruption, family and friends, all the corruption, the money laundering, is it not because of you? Coronavirus is here. A lot of the people who make their money from gatherings are out of job. And people are not checking these things. It's because of all of you. Pine. Shots. Unfortunately, MP died. Now we were told that before he died, he was crying for water. That is a sign or a symptom of internal bleeding, hemorrhage. Hear me now. MP died, sadly. We all are crying. The next moment, I'm hearing that the party of the MP, NPP, wants to bring the wife. The wife to replace the husband. Because West Wuogon constituency, there was an incident like that, and the wife of this person came to replace the dead MP. Much as I would like to see many more women in such very responsible positions, my brother, my sister, I think we got to be very careful. Listen, marriage is not easy. I'll tell you something. I have my ex-girlfriends calling me night and day. And a lot of them are married to responsible men. And telling me stuff. Oh, I remember on this day, when you gave me that hot doggy style, you know my husband has not been able to live up to that expectation. And it's not one woman, it's not 2 women, it's not 10 women. A number. Because in my heydays, I was more than the CEO of Playboy. My brother, my sister. Oh, do you remember when we traveled to this point and that point? You remember under the bridge, the quickie that I got from you? My useless husband only thinks money can give that. What point is Blakk Rasta making? There are so many women that we see to be in responsible marriages who are burning under hot fire. So many women married into very, very high profile families. Yet, when you check what is happening inside their medulla oblongata, my brother, my sister, it's more than a tsunami. And a lot of them are beginning to think otherwise. I'm only here because of the name. I wish this man will die quickly and go away so I can have a certain kind of freedom to do what I want to do. Not many women in our jurisdiction, and I'm talking about our cultural setting, are bold enough to walk out of marriages like this. Some men would not even permit it because they see it as an ego eraser in their lives. You know what I'm talking about? So these women who people see outwardly to be in a safe haven and be enjoying in the paramountcy of happiness, my God have mercy, are actually descending in the deepest doldrums of sorrow. You see that? So my brother, my sister, I'm driving at a point. If you wish that you could leave this guy, get his money, after all, you don't really love him. Oh, your ex-boyfriend is still around, and he still has that banging spirit. He still has what you want out of a man. And there is something small that you could push under the table to cause an earthquake to swallow him. A number of women will do that. Now, if there is an opportunity for you to take over your husband's MP position, it even makes it double Please. Yes, we want women to be in politics. We want women to be able to enjoy some of the big positions. But let us watch how we do these things. Some people don't care as long as they win the elections. Even if Satan is going to be on the ballot box himself and they will win the elections, they don't care. There are some politicians who would sell their mother with all disrespect to Elembele Mugabe. Freddie Blakk. You remember he said that? Oh, politics is so sweet. I could even sell my mother to do. My God, you joke with your mother like that? Later he came trying to give some lengthy, inaudible, intangible, in everything explanation. Your mother. You joke with your mother like that? Oh, politics is so sweet that I can even sell my mother. He said, my mother even died when I was saying that. What killed your mother? Did you really sell your mother to do politics? Don't joke with your mother. Where I come from, if you see a man joke with the mother or the father, other people's children will beat him up to pulp. It doesn't have to be my father. It doesn't have to be my mother. But when you joke with somebody like that, we give you a good beating. My brother, my sister, long and short, please, much as we want the sympathy votes, look, this woman is supposed to be a policewoman. She's already serving a good cause. But in a country where the police service is so disrespected, in a country where you have no respect for the police until armed robbers come chasing you, in a country where you have no respect for the police and you have reduced the police into corpse carriers. Corpse carriers. When a madman dies on the street, they are looking for the police to come and carry. You have no respect for the police until people die, until armed robbers come around, until election is coming, and you need people to stand in the sun and wait for the ballot box, until the street lights are off, and then you bring the people to come and stand there. To God be the glory, my brother. Think about it. The woman is already a policewoman. For all you know, she's not even interested in politics. For all you know, this woman is being pushed there and is being told the glamour, the glamorization of politics in this country. Think about it. I love women. Listen, if I had my own way, all government officials will be women, because women are less corrupt in every country. Of course, we have some women who are worse, but on the average, women are less corrupt. On the average. If I had my way, president will be woman, vice president woman, who woman. A country run by women is called what? A country run by old men and women is what? A gerontocracy. Yes, they are all gerontocrats. How about a country that is run by women? Homework. I used to have a teacher in school who was so dunderheaded. Somewhere in the primary school, any question he couldn't answer, he would say, homework. Sir, the intestines in the stomach, the moment he heard intestine, hey, take it as homework. Go and bring me the answer tomorrow. But listen to the question. Homework, just like that. Ghana shall prosper. My name is Blakk Rasta. I appreciate it and I thank you so much.